Brazil, renowned for bringing us some of the world's greatest players. Pelé, Zico, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. The list continues to grow year after year. Maybe some argue that around the 2014-15 period that the greatest football nation known as Brazil was starting to wane on their ability to bring through great players. Of course, they brought through Neymar, Coutinho and other players along those lines. But their dominance in world football was beginning to wane. A poor performance in their host nation World Cup in a humiliating defeat to the Germans also started to hit home that maybe the glory days of Brazilian football were beginning to pass. This began to change in 1998, when on the 22nd of March, a young child was born by the name of Marcos de Souza Rolandina, otherwise known as Marcão. He was born in Ferraz de Vasconcelos in Brazil, and he would go on to be one of the world's greatest strikers. He made his debut season at Vasco da Gama, breaking into the team at just the age of 16. In his debut season, he managed to hit double figures, and today we're going to have a look at that first season at Vasco and see how the legend was originally created. Many were surprised that at the age of 16 Marcão was brought into the squad. The young striker had much promise at youth level, but many thought it was a bit of a risk to throw him in a season that was so defining in the club's history. After recently being relegated from the top flight in Brazil, Vasco were back in the second division and hoping to gain promotion at the first attempt, which led many to see Marcão as a very big risk. However, Brazil do have a fantastic record of bringing through young, talented players, so the fans, as always, welcomed him with open arms. He witnessed his side take the lead early on for a fantastic goal, and then he witnessed some of the best goalkeeping displays on show in Brazil. A fantastic save to deny the equaliser then led to a breakaway and a free kick which Marcão took himself, and after some passes and movement Elias put the ball into the back of the net, and it was 2-0 to Vasco. Throughout the game, Marcão showed himself to be a very talented, skillful ball player. Another Marcão free kick led to yet another chance. He broke into the area from Renato Augusto, but his shot was very well saved by the opposition's goalkeeper. The crowd was starting to sit up and take notice of Marcão again when he broke free into the area. However, his shot was blocked and the rest of the chances came to nothing as the ball was worked away by the opposition. It was a great, fantastic debut for him. People said it was a surprise that I put him in, but for me, he was ready. For me, he was there. For me, he deserved it. He went on to prove me right, and that is all that matters. Several substitute appearances started to show that Marcão was more than ready to make a step into the first team. He'd been heavily involved in games and was starting to show that he has fantastic ability in setting up goals. Iago, however, on this occasion was to steal the show with a fantastic hat-trick, the first of which after just 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the clock with the opener. Avai came breaking forwards, but they were caught on the counter-attack and Marcão let rip from 20 yards out. Unfortunately, it was off target. Then a free kick which led to Iago's second goal. Marcão wasn't involved in the set pieces today, he was pushed out via seniority. But fittingly enough, it was Marcão's little through ball that found Iago for his hat-trick and completed the 3-0 win at home. The fans were really starting to warm to Marcão's ability to find space and find players. The following week he started, but he was slightly overshadowed in the opening throws by Marlon's fantastic fluke goal, but it was still dripping with Brazilian flair. It would go on to be one of Marcão's most memorable matches, but he did see his team concede an equaliser on 13 minutes. He decided then it was time to grab the ball by the horns and really stepped up his game. He caused the opposition tons of trouble with runs, skill, dribbling, passing, crosses, and this was more evident here towards the end of the first half when he picked up the ball in the area and chipped the ball in to Thelis, who managed to find the back of the net with a fantastic header. Marcão, however, was not finished there, and he would get on the score sheet himself. A lovely bit of strength and run there, not giving up, and curled it in off the near post to make 3-1 to Vasco. I remember that goal. I remember the adulation that we felt as a family to see our boy Marcão on the pitch. He hadn't had the easiest of upbringings, a hard start to life, but it was an amazing feeling for us all to see him curl that shot in. He celebrated it as if he had won every prize possibly known to man. He's a humble lad, and he never expected to get the reputation that he went on to get. He was just pleased to be playing football, whether it be kicking the ball around on the streets of Brazil or playing for Vasco, the team he loved. We owe a lot to Deriva and his staff. They really helped Marcão settle in. He was nervous about going there, but they gave him the freedom, the opportunity, the passion, the desire to succeed, and it showed each game on the field. In what would prove to be a very pivotal moment in Vasco's season, away at Avaí, they opened the goal scoring after just 30 seconds following the kickoff. A fantastic move over, the ball was crossed back in, and a fantastic first time finish saw them go 1-0 into the lead. This was significant as it was top versus second at the time, and Vasco were on the road to the championship. However, an equaliser on the 48th minute meant it was not going to be plain sailing for Deriva's men. With him screaming on instructions from the touchline and the fans on their backs to get this game won, it was our boy, our man, Marcão, who was growing strides every game that would score the goal that fittingly clinched the championship for his beloved Vasco da Gama. It was pure adulation. To see the smile on his face as he knew the ball that went into the net was going to be that won the championship was brilliant. He had dreamt of this moment for years. I remember he used to run around in the streets pretending to be Pele or Zico or Ronaldo. He used to love that feeling that he used to get raising up a glass that mother had painted for him to make it look as if it was the World Cup. He was always doing it, every week, him and his friends. And now, to a degree, he had reached that pinnacle of his career where he had lifted his first trophy. The fans spoke of him as the genius that won the league for them that season, and what was to come next and through the years would go on to show that no matter where you come from or where you were brought up, you can achieve what you want to if your mind is set. The following week was Vasco's final home game, and Marcão wanted to sign off in style. Little did the fans know at the time, but he was subject to an approach from a big European club. He didn't know this at the time, but the club certainly did. Deriva was said to say before the game, "Make sure you create history tonight." And he surely did, with a fantastic finish, which was the second goal in a 3-0 victory. A week later, it was announced that Lazio had agreed a €11 million deal to sign Marcão from Vasco. It was a heart-wrenching moment for Marcão as he decided to move to Europe, but one he couldn't turn down. He didn't know what to do. He came to us and said, "Mama, Papa, I don't know how to go with this. I don't know what to do. What do you think I should do?" He was frantic. He was worried. He didn't want to let the fans down. We told him that this was an opportunity that would only come round now, and he needed to take it. Refusal to do so may put other teams off and may stifle his career. For the first time ever, I saw doubt in his eyes. He said to me, "What if I fail?" I replied to him, "What if you don't?" So join us next time as we follow Marcão's first steps into European football with Lazio, who are also in the Europa League. Thank you for watching, and remember, anything is possible no matter where you come from.